Joining us now from New York is Alana Zeitchik. She's the family member of Israeli hostage David Cunio. Now, two of her cousins, David Cunio and Daniel Aloni, were kidnapped by Hamas from kibbutz Nir Oz in southern Israel, along with their three daughters, all of whom were released in a temporary ceasefire and hostage release deal back in November of 2023. But David Cunio's husband, David, remains in captivity in the Gaza Strip for over 330 days now. Alana, I'd like to thank you, of course, for joining us, especially after this terrifying news that we just received. I mean, this has been a horrific roller coaster for your family. Yesterday, your cousin, Daniel, released hostage, came out and spoke to the public about how the announcement that the IDF had discovered the bodies of 6 hostages over the weekend just absolutely broke her. And I wanted you to explain to our viewers how this news has impacted the families of the 101 hostages who are still being held captive in Gaza, and how this news has impacted your family specifically.
Sure. I mean, we're devastated. You know, all of us, their pain is our pain is theirs. And the realization that something like this can really happen is absolutely horrifying. Sharon is broken and terrified. She has such little, if any, faith in the chance of a deal. So she is almost at a point where she just feels like she's given in, that this is going to be David's fate.
Right.
That they're going to let him die in there.
And she, of course, has their twin daughters who she's been taking care of on her own, essentially, since they were released from Hamas captivity back in November. Now, your family members spoke out about what would happen when they were in captivity and IDF forces were believed to be nearby. Can you tell us a little bit about what they had to say about that experience?
Well, Danielle has just talked about how the terrorists would come near them armed whenever the IDF was near. And they knew that this was a warning, that basically if the IDF got too close, that they would be killed.
What does your family want to see happen right now? I mean, we are seeing this massive show of support by the Israeli public to see an immediate hostage release deal that is made. But now Hamas has also vowed that it will kill any hostages that the IDF comes near. We actually heard an official statement from Hamas leadership on this. And Netanyahu seems to be saying that there's no intention to give into Hamas's demands here.
Right. Well, we want him to make a deal. We've always wanted him to make a deal. You know, Danielle has been on the news. Sharon has said it. There is no time to waste. There never has been. And this is proof, if anything. This month alone, we've had 12 body bags return. 12 body bags of Israeli bodies who returned, not living ones, but people who were previously alive and could have been saved. So we want a deal immediately.
At this point, what does your family know about David and his condition, if anything at all?
We don't know anything. We only know from when Sharon left him. They were kept at that time in Nasser Hospital, but they do move hostages around, and they took David from her. And another hostage that returned told us they saw him in the tunnels, but we don't have any other news since, and we have no idea.
How is your family able to continue dealing with this situation? And I guess, like, you know, is there anything that is essentially holding the family together at this point?
Hope, survival, I suppose. Surviving. You know, it's like there's no other choice but to survive. It's torture and torment of its own to have to sit in this purgatory, which is just another version of hell. So no, I mean, all we can do is cope and take care. You know, Sharon takes care of her girls and pours herself into them and does what she can. And I try my best to advocate, as does Danielle, and everyone in my family just tries to keep Sharon strong as she can be, and give her as much hope that David will return.
So I guess, my final question for you tonight is, what message would you want to send to those who are watching this interview right now? What can they do to help your family?
I want everyone to get behind us. We are moving forward. There is no military solution. I need everyone to stand with us as hostage families to move forward and demand a deal immediately, because there is no military solution that is going to return them.
All right, Alana Zeitchik, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us, giving us your time from New York. I know that this has just been an incredibly difficult time for your family. We are all praying for your cousins, for Sharon, Danielle, and of course for David, who hopefully we will see returned home in a deal soon.
Thank you very much.